Hello people. Hope you all are fine. A very good evening to all of you guys. I'm Thinking Psyche here, welcoming you all in this great platform on the behalf of English Learner Group. As you all guys know, today's evening we're just going to start a debate session. Guys, we have our honorable host with us, Mr. Roman and Miss Sunanda, who will be hosting this session till the end. And also, we also having very brilliant participant as well as lovely audience with us. And we have our respective judge, Mr. Sun. Now, without wasting time, I like to hand over the mic to our host, who will be introducing the topic as well as the rules of the debate to all of you guys. All the very best, guys. Do your best. Thank you so much.
Thank you for this magnanimous introduction. It is said that where there is information, there is enlightenment. When there is debate, there are solutions. So we are here to find out the solutions of today's topic. A very warm good evening to all the wonderful people present here. It's my pleasure to begin this debate by heartily welcoming all the participants and the audience. Hi, this is Roman. It is my great honor to be the host of the debate and incredibly talented co-host Sunanda. In today's debate, we will be discussing about environmental development for Team A and economic development for Team B. Now, I am introducing to all of you a very generous intellect person and my co-host Sunanda. She will brief all you further. Over to you, Sunanda.
Okay, thank you, Roman. So, a very good evening to beautiful ladies and, of course, handsome gentlemen who have come to see us today. Myself, Sunanda, today being here, your host and also your friend. So, as my co host had already given the introduction of today's night very presently, so without wasting much time, I shall be telling you the rules and regulations of the debate. So, the debate is to be held in 3 cycles. First cycle has 2 rounds. In first round, members of Team A would be putting their views one by one and they would be countered by their opponent teams. In second round, members of Team B would be putting their views on their topic one by one and would face similar counters from their opponent team. For both round, one person has 3 minutes to speak and maximum 1 minute to answer the counter questions of their opponent. Counter questions is not accepted in order to adhere in the time limits. For second round, there will be an open debate where 2 members from each team would come forward and have an open discussion for 8 minutes. In third cycle, there will be a conclusive point of view from any representative of each team. The time limit to speak there is 1.5 minutes. Judges would be noticing everything, so all the best. And without wasting my time and of course your time, I'm handing over the stage to my co-host. So please start it.
Thank you. Again, Team A, I am inviting Silent Boy, and he will be our first incredible speaker. You will be mesmerized by listening to his points. So please, guys, welcome Silent Boy. Are you there, bro?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you for
Okay,
giving
so
me.
please carry on. You will have 3 minutes, and we are starting the time.
Sure. So I have to make an opening speak on behalf of Team A. So that's called I have to speak on behalf of environment. So what environment actually includes? It roughly includes air, water, and sunlight. Roughly it includes such things. So, it's actually the natural blessings, and if there will be no such things, we cannot live. We cannot sustain this life. So I think it is the basic survival of life. So maybe in some countries, in all countries rather, these things, I can say blessings have a legal entity, legal backing is behind. But for me, it has a natural backing behind. These are the natural rights which not any code on the surface of earth can take away such rights. But so it's a natural backing, it's a natural setting, it's a natural equilibrium. No, natural equilibrium it is on the right. But in the post industrial period, such blessings like air, water, they had get really got interfered. They had been destroyed by the industrial revolution, rather I can say, or science and technology. Okay, they had got really destroyed. We can see now air is getting polluted, water is getting polluted, forests are getting cut down, destroyed. So you know that due to air pollution, we do have an ailing body. Due to water pollution, biodiversity is getting killed, it is getting destroyed. The in-depth, in-depth survival of many insects or other, maritime, those, survivals, they're getting destroyed. So what is the reason? Actually, this is because of the industrialization. So you can tell me what actually economy plays an important role, but at the same time, I can say you it's economic greed. Okay, it's economic greed actually, that we want to increase our GDP at the cost of the survival, at the cost of the basic necessities of living. If you do have bottomless pocket of money, but you don't have free air, you don't have clean air to inhale, what is the purpose of that money? Nothing. This is all I can say it's all then wastage of time. Even there are international conventions held, Kyoto Protocol, many protocols are there, Paris Agreement is there, but for what? Only to save the environment. That is called the intellectual, that is the high class of intellectual, that is called the good sense is prevalent when we seek for the public interests, not for the individual interests. Okay, so you can see because of this economic purposes, Mr. Trump, he walked out from Paris Agreement in 2015 because of economic interests. So that industrial, so that economic purpose was set aside. So I think it's more important that we should look for the general purpose, for the public interests, for which our survival becomes complete. So otherwise, the destruction of this world is not so far. Thank you.
That was nice. And I think you completed your entire speech in under 3 minutes. So
Okay, it
that's
was nice,
okay.
silent
So
boy. Now, I have to call someone from my side to counter your things. So I would like to call Wish from my side to counter you.
Okay, so silent boy, I just want to ask you one thing, that if we are not economically strong, so how you expect that you can maintain the environment condition, or how can you expect to improve, or how can you expect that you will be maintaining the environmental condition? Like, if we are not economically strong, we won't be able to take care of our natural resources, right? So how would you cope up with that?
I think for our basic survival, I think first of all we need air. When we don't have pure and clean air to inhale for what we are living, maybe we do have minimum money at our account, we do have minimum less money, but we are living happy. Happy life is not, the secret of happy life is not in money. That is in, I can say integral way of living. That is complete living. That is when you are in consistence with the nature. If you are not in consistence with nature, your life is that stands that ends there. So I think balanced life is important. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, silent boy.
okay, that's great. So Sunanda, it's over to you.
Okay,
Ask someone from your.
okay. So she is versatile, incredible, sensible human. She is so, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Wish. Wish, the stage is all yours. Rocket.
Thank you, Sananda, for giving me the opportunity. So, yeah, guys, wish this side. I'm gonna speak about economic development. So, yeah, what economic development is all about. So, economic development is the development in which we develop the well being and quality of a nation, region, local community, and individual. So the term is frequently used in this 20th and 21st century, but the concept has existed in West for far longer, and we call it as modernization, westernization, and industrialization. So yeah, I would just, as I said in my countering part, the question which I asked to Mr. Silent Boy, if we are not economically strong, we won't be able to develop, or we won't be able to maintain the current environment in which we are residing. We live in present, right? We don't think about future. And if you're thinking about future and spoiling your present, then you need to think a lot. Then you are termed as an overthinker. Okay, now I'll just prove my points by giving an example. we all are listening the things which Sri Lanka is facing right now. If, for an example, Sri Lanka is not an economical developed country, it is totally dependent on some other countries. If you see the current scenario, it is under debt for around 50 billion, and most of the debt is taken by China. Now, if the country is economically developed, so there is no need to take a debt. Okay, now the country is facing various issues. The country is facing a lot of issues because it was not economically developed. So, as Roman said, that we need a kind of developed environment. We need a constant environment. So, it something that if we are not economically developed, so how would we expect, like, the person who is running out of poverty, the person who is facing diseases, if we are not economically strong, how would we able to cope up with these solutions? Like, we won't be able to do anything for that. If you're focusing more on environmental development, what if the person is dying out of poverty? You can't ask the person to eat coal, right? You can't ask the person to eat trees, the one which you are developing. I do agree that environmental development is necessary, but it is necessary from the future point of view. If you are living in present, I don't think so. You must develop your economical power as strong as you can. Now you have superpowers, like we do have many nation as a superpower. Why they are called superpower? Can I know? Like, as if they are developed in every aspect, that's why it is superpower, right? They are economically developed. What if tomorrow we have a war with someone else? Can you win the war by saying that, oh, see, we have a lot of trees, we have coals, we have minings, we have all the natural resources which you need? Can you win the war environmentally? No, right? You need to have economically strong situations. You need to develop your kind of defense. You need
Sorry
to,
to
so
interrupting, but
all
you
the
have crossed
things.
your limit, please.
Okay, so time is up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I
So
would I would just like to end
no,
by
no,
saying
no,
this.
no. Sorry, sorry. You are already 6 minutes, 6 seconds ahead.
Okay, thank
Roman,
you.
actual, she was.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you so much,
So
Vish.
we
Your
have
points were really
we have.
okay. Thank you so much, Vish. Your points were really valid, and I think the people from the opponent they won't be having counter questions. So yes, Alan,
Okay,
Roman.
so we have a counter question, and I have a team member whose name is Asura. Asura, are you there?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I would like to
Please.
counter Wish. Yes, I would like to ask one thing to Wish first. I want to know what do you think environment is first, and then you're talking about eating coal and eating trees. Imagine a world that where we are living in a stone age, and there is no economy, there is only environment, but yet humans survived, right? Economy is important for a country, for individual, but what world needs, right, is an environment, a proper environment. So I want you to justify that point where you said coal, eating coal and tree. How was that making sense?
Okay, okay. See, Mr.
Hello, hello.
Ashura, you were talking about the
Bro,
old
I am
age.
audible?
Okay. So if the old age was so good, why we are shifting? Why we are developing every day? If you are okay with the old age, if you are okay with living in if you are okay living in the environment, why we are developing every day? And the thing
Yes.
environment means to me is the thing environment means to me is all the natural resources, all the things surrounding us is environment, right? So I do agree that, no, I don't agree with this point. Okay, the one you said that
Okay,
we
I
were
got
all.
my answers. Second,
Huh.
second,
Uh-huh.
then if you just focus on economy more and not on environment, so
Mm-hmm.
from today's point in future, what do you think what's the impact going to be on the world? Like
Dude,
sooner or later, people will realize that environment actually
Okay,
matters
only
more.
15 seconds left. Please conclude.
okay, if you think about future, then everything is spoiled. because you need to live in reality, you need to live in present, you don't need to think about the hypothetical situation which is going to occur or which is coming in future. That's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Vish.
Can I
Thank you.
get one more minute?
No, please.
Thank you, Vish.
Okay.
Yeah, so Roman, over
Can
to
I
you.
ask? Can I can I ask some questions?
Okay, thank you, Vish. You have explained very well. So we are having a very good speaker, Punjaban. Punjaban, are you there? So please give a
Yes,
huge
sir.
round of applause for Punjaban. She is quite good speaker, and we will be listening her for next 3 minutes. Please go ahead. Stage is all yours.
Good evening, everyone. I want to say a big thanks for our admins who give me chance to speak front of yours. I want to going to start about environment development. Firstly, I will tell you here air pollution. Most of the air polluted by come from burning of fuels, vehicle exhaust, industries, and power stations. Polluted air causes many respiratory disorders like bronchitis, asthma, and throat infection. It may cause irritation to our eyes and skin. We know that chlorofluorocarbons are responsible for the reduce of ozone layer. Ozone protects us from the ultraviolet rays from the sun. These rays can cause skin cancer. And on the other hand, polluted air causes acid rain. And acid rain contains acid that damage the soil and plants. Second, who I want to tell about is global warming. Global warming causes climate change. That of the earth has increased by 2.5 degrees Celsius in the last 100 years, and it is expected that by the next century it will increase to 3.4 degrees Celsius. This unnatural increase in temperature will adversely affect all organisms on the planet. Allow to escape some gases of the atmosphere, namely carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrogen.
Your voice is stucking.
These
Punjaban,
gases.
we are not able to listen. Please fix your mic. Maybe network.
Guys, please do not interrupt. We have a session going on over here. You'll be muted. Okay. There are
Okay, Punjaban,
participants
please
who have
carry on.
prepared.
Voice was stucking. That's why.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
Yes,
No need
yes.
to point it out.
Okay. I
Punjaban,
am
carry on.
speaking. Okay. Yes. Just like a greenhouse does not allow air to escape, some gases in the atmosphere, namely carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide, have the property to trap heat. These gases does not allow the heat to escape back into space. That is why the Earth remains sufficiently warm. Effect of global warming, melting of polar ice caps, rising water level of oceans, folding flooding in coastal areas and impact on animals that live in the polar region as their habitat will be destroyed. At the end, if I we think only economical development and earning money, so we will see very soon our world stand nearest to destroy. Now time to move on environmental development. We saw results in during to COVID. Because of less oxygen, many people passed away. Money and things not important instead of our life. Now we should grow plants and
50
stop
seconds left.
uses lot of chemicals, gases and plastic. Excess of everything is always harmful for everyone. Instead of lot of money in my life, I will want to choose long and without diseases life. That's all. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, and that was incredible. Sorry for the interruption with the voice. She was having network issues, but that was really
No
incredible.
problem, no problem.
Okay,
No problem, no problem. Thank you.
Wish, can you name who is gonna counter from your side?
Okay, so from our side, Ajit is going to counter.
First of all, good evening, guys. I hope I am audible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
speak a
Ajit,
little bit
you're
louder.
audible and
Yeah,
you
my
have 1
question.
minute to counter.
Yes, thank
Yeah,
you, thank you.
go on.
Thank. My question to Panchabin is that you mentioned COVID last, so let's start from there. You said that many people died of lack of oxygen. Do you think that it's because our air is polluted, and why do you think many of the people who may have died was saved? Was due to we preserved the environment? No, because of the economical development, we achieved the modern medicine. So thanks to the modern medicine, we could save yes just think half of the world was affected by COVID, and only we could save most of them. Why? Because we were economically developed, and due to that economical development we were able to medically develop as well. That's the reason we saved, not because we planted more trees or cut and COVID didn't come because we polluted the air. It's a bacteria. It's occurred in the nature. Nobody polluted the environment to create COVID. So, what do you say about that? The lives we saved due to the economical and medical advancement.
Okay, giving. Can I give the answer now?
Yeah, please, Dave, go ahead and
Yeah.
answer.
What you are just mentioning is just pretty much obvious that the yeah, if she has mentioned that the level of the oxygen, if we would have the level of the oxygen as same as we were having at the forefather ages, the disease would not have caused us, you can say that expand. It is not my word, it is the word of the medical research team. Okay, that is the point I want to mention, that yes, if we our the level of oxygen would have been the same as we were having the old age when the revolution has not been taking place, the disease which has caused the damage, it would not have been caused to that extent, which has, you can say, we lost millions of people, or you can say we have lost numerous houses. So that is the basic point, if you can get the
I, I, I I will add another question to that. You're saying if the oxygen was
they're
previously,
not audible.
but I don't think that.
Ajit, it's okay.
Oh,
Ajit, it's okay. We can't allow us to
okay,
counter
okay,
again.
okay, sure, sure.
So
Okay, thank you.
please,
Thank you
wish
for the
over
opportunity.
to you. Please call your participant to speak.
Okay, it was a good one, Ajit. And now I would like to call Kay from our side. Kay, are you there? Kay, I
Actually, it's
think
my turn to
he's
speak.
facing some. Okay, Ajit, you can go on.
Thank you, thank you. Good evening, everybody. My name is Ajit, and I will be speaking for the economic development. So, yeah, in the previous topics, we have heard our opponents say that not the opponent, the opposite side. I want to call them opponents, and that our health is being decreased because of the pollution and all. And to that, I just want to ask you them, what do you think is the age, like life expectancy before the so-called industrial revolution? It was 50. 50 was if you lived over 50, you would have considered like you could claim for a world record or something. But today the average world expectancy of the world is above 70 years of age. Why? Because of the magic of the modern medicine. And from living in the cage to building wheels to making electric cars, we came all this way just because of the development that is caused by the economic development. Because let's be honest, people are money minded, and the root cause of all these developments, that is to improve our life. That is what my friend first said, that economic development is basically about well-being, improving our health, improving our society's health, improving our community's health. And for that, I would want to state a fact that you are saying that we should go for environmental development. But in the if you consider the world, the environment development is not just not practical to feed all the stomachs we have today, because in 1 out of 9 people are going hungry, and most of these hunger issue is caused in rural regions of Africa. Why? There is no economical development. Their basic income is from cultivation or cattle farming or whatever. They are not economical development, so they are not being able to feed themselves. They are not able to sustain themselves, and that is causing a lot of conflicts out there. The same is happening in Sri Lanka, the very near neighbor to us, because they were not economically developed. They are facing such harsh situations out there. They are going hungry every night. So in recent times, the UN has to close the life-saving aids in Yemen. Why? Because of lack of funds. Because and many of our friends say that the we are cause environmental destructions, and it has already happened because even without humans interaction, like how did the dinosaurs get extinct?
Bro, your time is up.
Okay, thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Okay, so from my side, Ashur will be countering him, please. Ashur, are you there?
Yes, yes, I'm listening. First, I want to make a correction. Like, I'm not countering, I want to make a correction. He said previous life expectancy was 50 years and now it's 70. It's a magic of modern medicine. It wasn't like that. Previous life expectancy was like way much. Old people used to live like way more than like 100 years, right? And now it dropped down to 70, and you consider to be lucky if you live 70 or 80 years long.
I, can I answer to that?
Yes, yes, you're supposed to answer.
Yeah, that is a very wrong statistic that you are having. The life expectancy of life
See,
before.
life expectancy only dropped during
Yeah,
world wars, and during calamities that happened with the past. But the natural life expectancy, which we count, right? Naturally, we count as a natural. क्योंकि accidental death can happen at any time, right? A disease or accident can happen any time, but a natural life expectancy previous was like 100 years, more than 100.
Okay, okay,
First of all,
Ajit, please speak.
yeah, that is a wrong statistic that you are saying, because in the, let's take the case of the Europe during the Black Plague or Spanish Plague. Most of the people died because of the lack of treatment. Why were there no lack of treatment? Because the society, yeah, was yet to
Your
be
voice
developed,
is
and
too low.
not
So you mean
not
economy developed, economy led medical industry developed, right? So you're
yeah,
basically focusing
without.
wholly on medical industry through the economy.
Yeah, what else?
Okay, okay.
How else do you think that the small diseases that we are not even hearing about because we abolish them because of the like polio or something that we because we found antidotes.
Ajit, please
So
conclude. You are crossing the time
yeah,
limit.
I strongly believe that the all the good health that we all enjoy today is because of the economic development, and that led to the medical revolutions. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so from my side, and I would be sorry for calling Sunanda as Wish. So it was my pardon, my big mistake. Pardon me. Sorry. Okay, so from my side, I would be incredibly happy to call Dev, and let's listen to him what he need to say about this topic. Dev, are you there?
Audible?
Yeah, you are.
Thank you. So, uh, thank you guys for letting me invite. So, I'm starting. What is the environment means all about? So, like, protecting the environment is more important than the economic growth of the developing countries, because the economic growth of industrial nation has negatively impacted the environment to the point where the quality of life has been declining globally. But ecologically, in terms of health in terms of like the diseases which has been produced just by its industrial revolution, example like cholera, typhus, till date we have not been able to diagnose those problems or been able to find out, and these problem has been cultivated just by the industrial revolution. So we have seen the impact on the human life. Apart from this, the fossil fuels uses by industrialized countries was a natural global warming caused by our Middle East sun, as it slowly but surely prepared to become a red giant. Another point can be that reversal of climate changes has begun, but if agricultural nations follow industrialized nation as a model, people who enjoy the benefit of being the non-industrialized will see their freedom to enjoy life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness taken away from them. Therefore, developing countries need to modernize conservatively and set better example for the world to see the investing in environmentally friendly business project. You can see the example which one of my you can say example which she put down, that the Sri Lankan example. Sri Lanka has set the project itself, but they haven't focused on too much of the agriculture. If they would have focused, I think they would have been a prosperous enough. But if that is the same example, if you're going to move to the Western countries, the most of the countries are not too much dependent just on the economic factor itself. And another factor is that the people have just related the environment poverty. I would to love to mention that the poverty and environment are interlinked or correlated with each other. Just going to give you three examples, you will understand that yes, if you're just going to hamper the environment, it will lead to you poverty. Just first example take, destroying the rainforest give native people nowhere to go except nowhere to go urban areas. When you say there will when there is a you can say floods, you can see the peoples of those or you can say rural areas, their lands have been flooded with water itself, so they have left with no choices to go to the urban areas and settle in slums. Second, you can take polluted water can lead to crop failure. It is pretty much obvious that yes, if polluted water can get into the crop area or to the land, it will not we will not get the desired
30
result of
seconds
crop.
left.
Okay, desired result of crop. So ultimately the we will having the hunger issue, and simultaneously we will not be able to earn. Third point, and the last I want to mention, that climate change will turn fertile field into desert and flood coastal areas when hundreds of millions lives. Yes, people do lives in the fertile area. Fertile is the place where we get the food even, and if the climate change will occur, we will be left with no choices itself to go and basis on that what we can not the coal or the that particular itself. So yes, that seems matter at least. So I'm done with my point.
Uh, that is really incredible how you have mentioned all the 3 points, and I would be happy if Sunanda will call someone to counter push.
Yes, Dev. It was nicely spoken. Now I would like to call Vish to counter you. And guys, let me make you clear. You just have to ask the question and the opponent has to just answer. You don't have to fight in between. Okay? Vish?
Okay, I'll take care of it. Okay, so I just want to ask you that India was also an agricultural country, but now India is much more into industries and India is much more into the economical development, and India is much more focusing on developing the defense, developing the medical sectors and kind of things. And see, being an agricultural country, if you are like residing on it, so why we are gradually into the technology? Why we are adopting it then?
uh okay, we are adopting the industry. Nowhere the government has mentioned that yes we are adopting, but to save the environment, government has definitely adopted some of the plans. I don't need to mention, I think every single years government at least two of the plans and the schemes, they came out with different schemes. So it is pretty much obvious that yes, government is pretty much sure to conserve the environment. Same time, government Modi also have sent till 2070 we will be able to have the free environment, you can say electricity in terms free coal. So I don't think your question is relevant from anywhere, because we are just government launch the every year schemes, but government doesn't launch anywhere to save the electronics or the gadget which we have mentioned to move toward the economical side. Thank you.
Okay, that was a great answer. I think which will be satisfied. If not, then you will get around. Okay, so over to you, Sunanda.
Yeah, thank you, Vish and Dev. Oh, wait. Is the floor crumbling? Oh, yes. The fallen emperor has risen back. So, Kay, are you here?
Great.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, rocket buddy.
Okay, so let me just introduce this. And people were talking about like environmental development is much more important than economic development. So yeah, I mean, everybody have their own point of views. The climate problem is not caused by economic growth, but by the absence of effective public policy designed to, improve the environment sustainability. There's nothing related to economic growth just because you can say the policy that has been made by this governments. That's the main issue. Economic development is vital for meeting the basic needs of the growing population, especially for developing countries. If we do not allow them to industrialize, these nations will have to bring measures to, to put some limitations to their resources, vital resources. And yeah, even the surveys that has been conducted by, some organizations. So, there is so much difference between developed countries and developing countries. So, the reason is if you are a developed country, you can think about environment. But if you're a developing country, first of all, you have to think about the economic development. Then you can, go on towards environmental and all. So, just a survey has been, I've just mentioned, I want to mention a survey. In America, most of the people's, the 70% of people thought that government should focus on environmental policy. But the same survey has been followed in developing countries, but the more than 60% of people believe that we should focus on economic development more than, environmental development, because they are still in the developing zone. They can't get out in just a snap. They have to think about first the economy, then they can move on. Towards the environmental development. The basic for this view is the idea that environmental quality comes only after basic needs such as food and housing are met. So countries should focus initially on economic growth, even if it comes at the expense of environmental quality. Because as country becomes richer, they can afford to clean up environment from the past, and public demand for cleaner environments. Government can enact and enforce stricter pollution control regulations. So the more richer you are, the more powerful you are, so that you can think more about, some like terms like emit carbon emissions, something related to environmental things. But first you have to focus on the economic development until you're not becoming
You have
richer.
50 seconds left.
Like until you're not becoming richer. So that's the thing. Economic development, like the industrial words, economic growth is vital. Obviously, if a nation will strict towards only economical things, it will never become a developed nation. And it is actually a hypocrisy for rich developed countries who only thinks that the countries who are in developing zones should focus on environmental things just because they're developed. So
Okay, you are done. You are done. I'm sorry.
I'm done.
Just a simple question to Roman.
Okay, so I have someone to ask you questions to counter you.
Okay.
Silent boy, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay,
Now
please.
my question goes straightly as my colleague said that there is no interlinkage between economy and climate. Don't you think that industries which form the main, I can say, parameter for the economic development of any country, those industries, they emit a lot of, those dust and all emissions, etc. Don't you think that affect the climate? Don't you find the interlinkage in between? So that's question number one. That the second one is that pollute up first and clean up later. You believe in this policy? I think that's the flawed policy. Because what you say that we can do economic development at any cost, then you mean to say that by pollute up first, then clean it later. Is it the policy? I think that is not the logical way of treating things, because you can't retrieve the ozone layer depletion at the later end when it gets damaged. So that's from my side. Thank you.
Okay, please answer.
Okay, so okay, so the first thing that I want to answer, that as I said earlier, climate problems is not only caused by the economic growth. There are some actually important things that has to be made towards the environmental development. We just can't put restriction to economic growth. it also is very necessary for us. I mean, there has to be some restrictions, like you have to emit less carbon, and you have to emit, I mean, less harmful gases. That could be reason, but we just can't restrict all the economic growth, all the economic processes. And the one thing that he just said, I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, first of all, you have to think about your economy. I mean, then you can move towards environment. If you're in a position that, I mean, people are suffering from poverty, I mean, they don't have any food to eat, and still you're thinking about environment, does it work for
Okay,
you?
please conclude.
Yeah, I'm done now.
Okay, thank you. That was a good speech. So I will
Thank
be.
you, Kay. It was really a marvelous points from your side. Now, Roman, the mic is yours.
Thank you. And yeah, that was really incredible. And please hold on your chairs. I am gonna calling someone who is really who can really shake your mind and your body. So please welcome Suri from my side, and she will be speaking for next 3 minutes. Thank you, Suri. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, please. Stage is all yours.
Okay. So, hello everyone. I want to start from the one quotes. If you really think environment is less important than the economic, then try to hold your breath while you count your money. So yeah, so if you, it is very important to take care of our environment because health and the survival on the earth directly depends on the earth. Directly depends on the health of our environment. It is very easy to find dirt and pollution at many places across the world, and the large pollution of the world, sadly, we see very less being done to address this matter. We are slowly creating more polluted space on Earth. Today, it is very hard to find clean place at the several parts of the world. Today, various kind of serious health problems like cancers and increasing fast across the world. There is many type of environmental pollution, air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution. First, I want to talk about the air pollution. Most common form of pollution that is called air pollution. So, primary reason of cooking, transportation, and other industrial activities. Sulfur dioxide is the most common gas that makes air toxic. It is produced by burning fossil fuel like coal and oil. Second is water pollution. Every living being on Earth depends on water for its survival. Thus, water pollution is another major type of pollution. Industrial effluents dumped into the rivers and sea is the most common way in which way getting polluted. After the massive use of insecticide and pesticide also polluted the water system. Now I want to talk about the soil pollution. Soil pollution also called as a land pollution, right? So I want to say like, okay, earth, what we call earth in a Hindi, Dharti Mata, right? So don't you think we should care our mother first? Who is our first priority? Who give you whatever you have right now just because of your mother, right? So don't you think we should take care of our mother first, on behalf of thinking development first? Because whatever development we are going to do in our life just because of our mother, right? So before thinking about the development, before thinking about the other thing, we should take care of our mother because mother is the way we can take many things from the earth, like
15 seconds left.
okay, whatever we have just because of mother. So our first priority to take care of the mother and development yeah, like people are only talking about the development. So like
Okay, thank you.
so,
That was
sorry
really
for
fantastic, and we are you are crossed the time limit. So I will be inviting Sunanda. Please go ahead and give the name who can ask counter question.
Yes, Survi, it was the awesome one. but I have counter questions from my side and of course from my team. So I would like to call Devendra to counter to Shurbi. Devendra, are you here? Okay, I think he is not here. So Sobi, are you there? Can you counter?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, I'm here.
sure.
Okay, go on.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh, my question towards you is actually we are now living this in this 21st century. We are not in the stone age, so we really need some things like we need transportation, we need internet, we need social media. We can't live without that. So economic development is a key factor towards that. So do you think we could live without economic development and these factors which we really need in this century? It's not on. We are not living in the stone age and we can't go towards that time and we could recreate that like that. So do you think we could can't live without economical development?
Okay. First, before giving the answer to this question, I want to ask: do you think we are living without the oxygen? We are living without the environment. Tell me the answer of this question first.
Yeah, I agree that, but do you think we really
Okay,
can't
you
live
agree.
without these factors?
Okay, you
Okay,
agree with me.
Okay,
guys.
please don't fight. Please answer.
Okay, sorry.
Don't guys
Survey answer, please.
answer.
40-second left.
Yeah, like yeah, to be honest, I can say yeah, we can live without that because we can't live without the environment. We can't live without the oxygen because this is the main purpose we are living right now, right? Like if water will be polluted, of course we are not going to survive in this world because if you are talking about development, so water water bottle its rate is increases day by day, right? So because of that, we are not poor people. They are not able to buy that costly water bottle, right? So if we are take care of the our environment, so we are getting these things in a free. We no need to pay any kind of money, right? So that's the what I wanna say. Yeah, done.
Okay, so that was really stunning answer. Over to you,
Yes.
Sunanda.
Thank you, both of you. And before moving ahead, I would like to announce that there are a lot of people here among audience, and they also are interested to take part in this debate sessions. So let me tell you, this debate session is conducted every weekend, and uh, the poll is being posted in the group. Anyone who is interested, they can just go through the poll and place their names over there, and the team division will be there, and accordingly you can participate in the debate. And right now the teams have already been divided, so from next time do participate, guys. Thank you. Okay, so
Okay,
from
so
my
there will be
side,
someone.
yeah, so from my side, the person whom I'm going to call is, I have made the full form of that person. She is sensible, oriented, brilliant, and youthful. She is none other than Sobi. So, Sobi, the stage is
Yeah.
all yours.
Thank you for this opportunity. Actually, I would like to start from the previous discussion. So, we said that we really need oxygen. Actually agree with that point. We need oxygen and we need water, but we do have new technologies, advancement in like we could recreate these water, like we could recreate whatever we need. It only occurs if we have good economical development. We have to compete with other countries, like there are huge development in other countries and we have to compete with them too. The distribution of this rising income among the population is legitimately in the domain of economical development. The two key factors of the distribution of income are inequality and poverty. So if we are continuing like agriculture, we are doing our own business, like we are doing agricultural and we are growing food and other commodities for ourselves, there will be a huge difference in economical sector, and we have to there inequality, as it has happened already in the past in our India also. So I think economy is the backbone of a country. Without a good economical development, it would be too much difficult for a country to sustain, as we had also seen the example of Sri Lanka. Okay, so India had recorded strong economic growth over the past 4 decades, and it also had good advantage in our country. We need everything which is necessary for our development. So you can see it's a lot of number of people are um, preferring to migrate to other countries because of their infrastructure, their development, like other things, their education. It's all because they have a good economical development than ourselves. Do you think this would be a great if we have a good opportunity and if we people would like to stay in our own country and we could contribute to that, it would be the better option than we are going to other countries and having their economical development and contributing for themselves. Yeah, that's my point. Thank you.
Sobi? Yeah, so Roman, who is countering Sobi?
Okay, so we have silent boy to counter her. So are you there, bro?
Yeah, I'm just saying that he was saying just that it promotes more, equality. I think if we go into the economic domain, but I say when you focus more on industrialization and science and tech, this world is actually from the Western country, and they promote more. This actually promotes more concentration of wealth within few hands. It promotes more inequality. So do you think we need some sustainability, the spirit of sustainability there? Sustainability means we can just promote more both economy as well as that environment. Do you think it should be in that way? Because what you said in equality in that matter, I think that industrialization, this capital, it is the capitalist concept. Okay, this promotes more inequality than equality. What you were saying, Toby?
Yeah, I actually mentioned that we need environmental development, we need environment, and we need pure air for breathing. But still, we need a good economical development too. It's all be on a balance. So, yeah, if we have a bad environmental condition, we can also recreate that, and we could re-innovate that by economical development too, right?
Okay, you need to just answer that.
Okay, so thank you so much, Silent Boy and Sobi. Now the stage is yours, Roman, whom you're going to call from your side.
Okay, thank you. So, guys, I have a really very special person whose name suggests he cannot be defeated. Please get ready to listen to the Asura. He will be speaking for next 3 minutes. Asura, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I just changed my name to Evangelist. Okay, I want to talk about
Like,
like proper economy and environment, and we will go back in time. In 18th century, environment was like very dominating. There was no urbanization, no civilization, nothing like that. India used to contribute 45% in GDP, and world also was like very doing good. Then urbanization comes, and what happens? Economy is boosting. Economy is like economy actually. India only contributes 27% in world GDP now, right now, and they also dominated the environment part, jungles and all. Everything is just wiped down. What happens in economic crisis, in recession area? What actually happens? Dot-com bubble. It was like internet. It was like crisis, stock market crisis, economic crisis happened in 2002 or one, and like near about 1,000 companies went bankrupt, people went bankrupt, right? Only Google and Microsoft, this kind of big companies stood still. Second economic crisis happened in 2008, and then like thousands of people went homeless. They had to like sell their houses in USA. That's what happened due to economy crisis when the economy is less. Now let's shift to environment. When you don't pay attention to an environment, everything can go wrong, right? In There was a recession in 80s, in 90s, I guess, where people people wanted to pay thousands or millions just for a piece of bread, and no one was able to sell them. Nobody wanted to sell those piece of breads because the piece of bread was so less. Everybody was hungry, and that at that time the money value of money was nothing. Food matters, right? Food matters. Food is a top tier. So when you don't pay attention to environment, ozone layer is there, you're polluting the land, the crops ain't that healthy anymore. So indirectly, it will the supply will get down, supply will get down, and the demand will increase, right? And the prices will hike, and then again economy will get struck. So to keep economy in check, you have to make sure the environment is fine. You can't pay attention to economy first and then come to environment, right? China is doing very good. They built so many stuff in China, but they had to create a like a synthetic jungle just for oxygens, right? Then they realize that the China's air is getting polluted, and they need a proper uh, something, the like a
30
cure for
seconds
that.
left.
And yes, okay, and then they created a synthetic jungle, I would say, right? And that's why economy is more. So rather than paying attention to sorry, environment is important. Rather than paying attention to economy first and then coming back to what you left behind, environment, it's more important to pay attention to environment first, so you won't make any mistake, right? And I'm done. I think I concluded. Maybe I misplaced some words in between, but I'm done. Any
It
questions?
is totally okay, and you were spectacular, as I had said. His name suggests, like he is undefeatable. Okay, so Sunanda, over to you. Who is gonna come?
Okay. So Divya is going to counter. Divya?
Yeah, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. So, as he mentioned that like all the crises, homelessness, all the things that happened in a very earlier period. So, don't you think like if the country would have financially strengthened, financially developed, then they could not have suffered a huge loss. So I think that means being focused on environment, the company should means the country should focus on the economic very much, because economic because the power of finance is that much that like if the country has a strengthened in economy, then the country will be able to tackle all the problems, whether it is natural disaster, whether it is poverty. As we can say that many more person in India, like under the poverty line, not even India, many more countries, there are more lots of person who are living under the poverty line, means even they're not getting the satisfied needs of living means the needs that they really acquire for having good life. So they don't even getting the food. So how's the condition of that people? So won't you think that besides thinking more about nature, we should think more about the life in our country? I think environment is means I think environment is also important, but more important there is life. If we are able to save the life, then we would be able to save the nature as well. The more our economic, the more our country will be strengthened in financially, the more our country will be able to tackle all the problems, whether it is natural, whether it is whether it is artificial, any crisis, any
Is that a
homeless.
counter or you making a statement?
I'm encountering the statement
Just you
that
are
you have
down.
given.
You are done for. Okay, sorry for that, but
So
you are
I
just
want to
countering.
answer. I want to
Okay, please go
answer
ahead.
in very like.
Yeah.
Give me a
So,
moment.
so please go ahead.
I want to answer. I just forgot a point. यार मैं अभी सोच रहा था.
Okay, it's okay. It sometime happens. I guess like
No, no. What she said
someone
for first
had
time I
we
forgot.
had some kind of misconception here.
Okay, right,
But
right,
just
right,
you are allowed
right,
to.
right. I remembered. In USA, according to you, economy matters more. USA, America doing economically very good. It's on top GDP and everything is just fine. One of the most powerful countries. but in that country 98% of the money is held by only 1%, 1% people of USA. Those are the richest ones. Jeff Bezos, this richest people which comes in top 10, top 20. 98% of the money, and still people in USA are homeless. They live on street. They have to play some instrument to get money, and they really like messed up. But the country is doing economically very good. So when you come to economy, there are so many things you have to be aware, and then you have to speak about it. But you go to any country, any island which is like having preserving its environment, you see that country is happy, doing economically very good. You see economically doing good countries in Middle East as well, countries having oil wells and all, right? These countries, they have to struggle for water, for food, normal food, which is like 10 rupees kg in India, is like in costing thousands or hundreds, right? So you won't understand their struggle unless you are in their shoes. Being economically good is like ain't. And just I'm about to say one last line. I want you all guys from Team B to tell me one thing. Are you really in a favor of this topic, or is just like something that it's a topic and you're talking about it, or you actually do agree that economy is really far important than
Okay,
environment?
that's all.
General
Okay,
question
Thank you,
for
you are
the.
thank you,
actually not
Okay, very
allowed
good.
to
evangelist.
ask this
Thank
Okay,
question. It's just
thank you, evangelist, for giving your answer. And I would go to the Sunanda, and please ask someone to speak from your side.
Okay, as your team said that, are you sure that we are talking on against of environmental development? Yes, we are definitely sure of it. And to prove that, I would really like to call, as her name suggests, divine. Like the name is Divya, and that means divine, and she is here to show the divine power of economic development. So, Divya, yeah, go on.
So of course, like I am in the favor of economic development because, I was really countering of your statement. Like as you have means all the disease means I'm not only countering you means before that your opponent party means many things like they have mentioned about disease, pollution, about the stone era. So I think that if you're talking about the stone era and the earlier period means they use means they means at that time, and these things is also been it's been happening for a long time, like it's a flood, it's climate changing, it's a matter of for a long time. So I think beside discussing on that, we can say that our economic means focusing on economic will be more will be more good for the nation, because if we become a financially financially strong, then we our country would be able to tackle all the problem. Even it means like whatever the problem, even now we can see that our medical resources and our medical research, our the scientists, everyone is doing their great in their research, in their technology. So I think if we are financially dependent, if we are financially strong, then of course they would be able to it means they would be able to initiate a new technology with which we can just save our nature as well. Means as well as our means apart means with our livelihood and with with our livelihood and our nature as well. So so in my point of view, beside focusing more on the nature environment development, we should focus more on economic development. It's more necessary. And even not only our nation, there are many nation, and one thing, exception is everywhere. Everywhere there are lots of country which is suffering, even a one day meal. So they are really suffering. They are not want any good nature, they don't want anything. They are means they are just starving for the food. They have just lost their appetite, they are just lost their life. Means it's just like a just like ant is doing. So we means rather focusing on that development, we should just go with economic development. in my point of view is that. And apart from this, as you told about the so much disease has been occurred due to have bad nature, bad weather, bad condition anywhere. So I think that what about that thing that means many persons, many children are facing malnutrition problem, because why? They don't have enough money. Their parents don't have employment. Why? Because of lack of economic development. So I think that I think we should more focus on economic development. Yeah, that's all from my side.
Can I counter?
Thank you, Divya. Roman?
Yeah, of course. I have evangelist Asura. He will be countering her.
Okay.
The last point when you said the last hello the last point when you said that okay again I forgot. So I'll be making my statement. And so I think
Okay, can I counter?
no. So lack of employment and all people, um, polio disease and all those stuff you talked about. I want you to understand environment is something that the employment is already there, the business you're having, the agriculture you do, right? Everything is actually is built by considering the surrounding and the environment, right? That's why every country, every place in this world having a different kind of business which suits that environment, and that's why we strive to keep that environment as it is, right? So the employment which we already having is also given by the
Please
environment.
conclude your question.
So the question is, how can she say that the environment is something that is like less important and economy is more important, and that's something which giving employment while it's not.
Okay, you have 1 minute to answer. 1 minute to answer.
Okay, I didn't say that like econ means like environment development is less important. I said that environment development means, sorry, economic development is more important. It's because I have told you all the reasons why it is important. Means all the children who are facing the problem of malnutrition, it's not about the lives. Means we cannot play with the lives. Okay, we should focus on environment means economic development, because economic development is something which can have a power to solve all the problems that exist in the society, that exist in the nation.
Okay. Thank you, Divya.
Okay.
So, Roman, over to you.
Thank you. And that was really great. So I have a very astonishing personality here, and he will be giving you the reason why environmental development is the right thing we need to do. So Mukesh is here. Are you there, bro? Mukesh,
Yeah,
are you
buddy,
there?
I'm here. Yeah,
Okay,
I'm here.
so you will be speaking for next 3 minutes, and good luck.
Okay, thanks all for giving me opportunity to speak. Okay, first of all, like I'm talking about environmental development. So we all know that. Let first of all, let me tell you, like what involves in environmental development. It's all about environment is all about biotic and abiotic things. What involves in biotic things? It's all about like animal, birds, forests, insects, fungi, bacteria, viruses, whatever it is. And the second is abiotic things, which is directly related to our life. Even both are directly related to our life, like air, cloud, mountains, rivers, oceans, humanity, water, vapor. But I think this topic is not about economical or environmental development. I think it is directly related to death or living or death of human beings. Why so? Like, I think Earth is the only planet where human survives. There is no other planet in the universe other than Earth where human can survive till death. Even we don't found. Even we are spending millions of rupees and millions of dollars to find new planets where like we can be able to live over there or not. Even we don't have oxygen over there to breathe or water to drink over there. Still, we are destroying this planet by the names of economical development. okay, what kind of actual issues we are creating under the name of economical development. So according to me, first and the most important issue that we all know about climate change. And day to day basis, we are seeing so many issues like bushfire in Australia, Amazon. Why always we talk about Sri Lanka economical crisis? Why didn't we talk about the environmental change that and regarding that all the issues occurred in the Australia, in the Amazon bushfire, and in the even Uttarakhand crisis. And there are so many crises occurred in the day-to-day lives because of environment change, like rainfall, record break rainfall we are noticing every year, record break temperature, highest temperature we are recording every day by day, every year actually we are recording this. So why we are ignoring this kind of issue even though, and we are creating so many issues under the name of economical development, like underground water crisis. We are lifting waters like greedily. We are not even thinking about that. Because of that crisis, water crisis, like women are traveling miles and miles just for like 2 liters, 20 liters, 30 liters of water. They are bearing burden of that water from one village to another village, like without. What will it be do
30
with
seconds
that?
left.
What will we do with that roads and that development if we don't have drinking water? What will we do with development if we are giving that polluted, if we are not getting fresh air to breathe? What will we do with all that? We are creating plastic pollution, all that. I think the only it related, if you want to develop, first we need to develop mentally and healthily, which occur by the economical, sorry, not for by the environmental growth. So that's all.
Okay.
That
Yeah,
was
that's
really
Mukesh?
incredible and fiery, and I would appreciate having. So, Sunanda, over to you. Who is gonna counter?
Yes, yes. Krishan is going to counter Mukesh. Krishan?
Okay.
Yeah.
So Mukesh
Go
is
on.
about economic development. So can you please-
sorry, I'm not
okay.
Krishna,
clearly
you are
audible.
not audible. Please fix your network, I guess.
I'm audible now.
Okay, Krishan, you're not
Sunanda,
at all
I will
audible.
request
You're
you
facing some
to
network
give
issue.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
Like if I'm audible. I'm
Sunanda, I will
audible.
be
Okay, okay.
requesting you to
Okay, Krishan.
select someone else.
Okay. Vish, are you there, Vish?
Yes, Nanda, I'm there.
Yeah, please go on and counter Mukesh.
Actually, I didn't heard Mukesh because my phone fell from my hand and it got switched off, so I just joined.
Okay, okay, no issues. Okay, okay. Okay. So K is going
Wait,
to
I'm
counter from our side then.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna ask Mukesh. Just ask yourself, do you want to go to your native place? I mean, while taking 10 hours, or will you prefer to go there by, I mean, only taking 5 hours? Ask yourself, I mean, don't answer just because you're in a favor of environmental development. Just ask yourself,
Yeah,
will you
I'm
prefer
damn
to
sure,
go
buddy. I
taking
will
10
prefer
hours?
to like. Okay, the simple answer is if you want to live healthy and happily, you want a good atmosphere, and which will be get like, well, if you have good atmosphere, then you will get all that like mental and like then you will be healthy or like you will enjoy your life. Otherwise, what will we do with all
Just
the
be,
GDP growth and all that issues, na? That there's no use of
okay, so
posh roads and developed
if
economy,
the
industrial
Okay, K,
areas
you
if you
don't
don't
have
have
to
fresh air to breathe.
answer again.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, carry on, bro. Carry on, Mukesh, carry on.
Then what will like is there any use of that industrialization construct area like posh roads and like all that things if you don't have fresh air to breathe, if you don't have even water to drink and all that basic facility to live? It is directly related to our life. If you don't have basic things, na, there is no use to be economical developed. Even Australia, Indonesia, they were like developed nations, still they didn't counter that climate change issues. Okay, like that's the point I want to tell you. It is directly related to our living or like dying. That's all the thing like I want to say. Yeah, that's it.
That was really great,
Thank you,
and
Mukesh.
I think
okay, so I just
Sunanda.
have to ask only one question, and
No,
that
K,
Sorry,
K,
if I
no,
sorry,
you
have to
can't.
sorry.
write a paragraph. No, okay.
Just
I'm
a
asking
second, K,
if
you can't ask right now. You'll be getting chance later.
okay.
Okay, as Krishan is facing some network issue, so from my side, I would like to call Ajit. Ajit, are you there?
Yes, I am. Am I audible?
Okay, go on. Yes,
Uh,
you are completely audible.
yeah, good evening, everyone. As the person before me said that there is natural calamities happening all over the world, and the economic development couldn't do anything. And I want to point out that natural calamities has been happening way before industrial revolution or way before humans, for that matter. Even the dinosaurs got eradicated because of natural calamities, not because of the human changes, the climate changes that caused by human. And bushfire and in Australia or uh, Amazon, it's been going on forever and ever. And due to only the technological advances, that is the direct result of economical
Ajit, you are not audible. Please speak loud.
am I audible now?
Yes, you are completely audible.
Yeah, the technological development that was directly proportional or directly the result of the economical development that we had. We were able to contain it, and you would say that it took us 1 month, 2 months. Yes, it took us 2 months. Where if we were not that advanced or that prepared, what would have happened? It would have never stopped. It would have engulfed the entire Australia, entire Amazon, and it has happened even before humans. There has been many wildfires that we don't know of. We cannot be sure that these wildfires didn't happen before humans came. No, it did happen, and it has cleared entire forests, and we were able to prevent that and save so many lives. Not humans, live the life of humans, even the animals. And how are they able to come back? Because of the economical support that the developed countries that are giving to Australia. Australia is a developed country. Even then it takes economical help from other developed countries like America. In the case of Amazon bushfire, America and other European countries directly, even India sent direct aid to that country. How we are able to do that? Because we were technologically advanced, we were financially safe, we are economically ahead. That's how we help our community and our civilization. What happens? We go back to nature. Every country, every nation, every island will be isolated. There is no way to reach each other. They will have to face the suffering alone. Every continent will be alone. But due to that advancement of technology, that is directly the advancement of economics, that we were able to help each other and sustain and go on living. Even in the case of pandemics, we were only able to help each other, not ourselves, but also others, because we were economically stable. Do you think a poor country like Uganda or any Somalia will be able to help other country? No, they are uh, having a hard time surviving themselves, only because we didn't
Okay,
go.
Ajit, now conclude it.
Yeah, only because we went ahead with the economical development, we are able to help others, and in the future also we will be able to help others. And so economical development is very important, and it's way more important when it compared to environmental development, if when comes to the sustainability of human race as a whole. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ajit, for giving us valid points. So now, Roman, you can call someone to counter Ajit. After that, we can move to second round.
Okay, I have a very fantastic, magnificent personality here to counter a question. Deo, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
please.
Just a simple question, or just a simple. I want to answer you. So you can just. I need to ask the question, Roman.
Yeah, you need to question.
Okay. You have always brought about the topic of COVID-19. If what was the, you can say, possibility that COVID-19 has erupted? It is the economical, or it is the, you can say, environmental one. I think it is the economic one. So if your economical is so much enormous or so much rich, why it has brought the COVID-19 scenario? Because you guys have always dragged the topic of medicine. That, so can you answer it? Why the COVID-19 has erupted? I think it is a case of economic itself.
So
It wasn't a
this
Advancement of
case of
medical science.
it
okay,
wasn't a case
can I
of
answer?
economic.
One can answer, I think.
Okay,
I
Ajit,
think
you
it's
wanna
my
go?
turn.
Okay.
Yeah. You are taking the case of COVID-19. Okay, let's for sake of argument, let's agree that it is economically. And what do you think? Spanish plague, black flu, the chicken pox, the dengue fever, the like polio. Where did all these diseases okay? Because they existed way before the globalization or industrialization. What were they able to do? Nothing. They had to suffer. They were the
Can I answer
leprosy.
this question?
Leprosy. They were isolated and let to die. They were left to die. And this is all.
The each of the
We have your
disease
country
which you
Okay,
have
chat.
Dave, you are
mentioned.
not allowed to answer question.
About this
Okay.
particular thing about plague and coronavirus, I would say it doesn't matter how globalized or how
Ajit, are you done with your answer?
No, I thought I was interrupted. I was being
Just
interrupted.
complete it then.
So 20
Yeah.
You have
seconds.
30 seconds left.
Yeah. Okay. So these virus and virus outbreaks are not has happened way before the industrial revolution or economic revolution, and it will happen in the future. And in the economical revolution and advancement is the only way to prevent them. Being living in the nature will only make us more susceptible to diseases and less treatment methods. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ajit. So now it's time to move to the second cycle. So before moving to the second cycle, I would like to announce some of the rules which the people have to follow. So for second cycle, there is an open debate where two members from each team would come forward and have an open discussion for 8 minutes. And guys, it's a humble request that all the four contestants should not make chaos in the VC. They should uh, counter each other. In fact, answer to the questions in more of peaceful way. So I would like to uh, ask Roman that which are the two people who are coming from your side?
Okay, so I have two very incredible speakers, Dev and Evangelist. They will be speaking in the next round.
Okay. So from my team, Kay and Vish are going to come in this round.
Okay, so I will be inviting both of the my teammates, Dev and Evangelist, come and have counter question. You can ask the question, you can answer them, but please don't raise your voice. Just go through the logics, and that's all. Okay, so all stage is all yours, Dev and Evangelist.
it's a discussion. Okay, first I would like to complete what I was saying, and then I got muted. Right, about coronavirus and the plague. This issue doesn't matter what era it is, doesn't matter what time period it is. When a new virus hits humankind, we are always going to suffer unless we found a virus. Right. In this current situation, we struggled for struggled for coronavirus, but we won't struggle for plague anymore. And in upcoming time, we won't struggle for coronavirus. Just like this, after 100 years, we would be so much on some next level in modernization for economy. But even at that time, if new virus hits us, we will struggle at that point. So the virus and this topic about medicine isn't legit for this discussion, I would say. And I think it was Ajit who brought this topic up, and he is part of a discussion right now. So,
Okay.
do you have
So
something to say?
okay. So let's bring the you guys have spoke many things. Let's bring out all your mistake which you have committed. Okay, you just first point when you have mentioned any one of your team that yes, if you're gonna reach in we're gonna focus on economic environment gonna be automatically be you good. Who is the prosperous country right now? USA. Is he come under the top 5 nation who look after the environment? No. Is it the case? No, it is not the case. You talk about, you can say the African countries, you have taken out the examples. So let me remind you guys, they are, if in terms of pollution, you have said, in terms of population, sorry, in terms of population, if that is a scenario, you can take the example of China. China, from the last 10 years, they have been economically very good, very much sound, and they are also looking toward the environment too, being the most populated country in the world itself. So they are the best example, I think, to counter your points which you have mentioned. Another
Okay,
point
so
you guys have.
Dev, Dev, are you
Yeah, Vish,
supporting
go on.
us? You are giving the points which are in favor of us. You are saying
I
that
think,
China is
I think,
economically strong. You
That's
are saying USA
I
is
think, I,
economically strong,
Vish,
and they are the most powerful
Let him finish.
countries in the world. If I
Let him
allow him
finish.
to speak, then
okay.
when
He
I will
still wants
speak.
to say something.
Oh my
No,
God!
let
If I
let
let
allow
Vish
him
talk.
to speak,
if
if
you
I
want
allow
to
him to
interrupt,
speak, the
if you
time
want to
will be up,
interrupt, say,
right?
can I interrupt?
Okay,
Vish,
I would love to
go on.
interrupt you, Dev, and I'm saying like whether you are saying in our favor or you are against us.
Okay. Don't. Okay. Just a
Mm-hmm.
simple point. You need to clear it down. As I mentioned, that you can
Devalinda
economic
Mahadev.
and environment. Samir, you just need to mention it very carefully. First point which I mentioned, the China point. Okay, you can say population factor has been you can say taken out from your team itself, rather from the African countries. I will mention that yes, China being the most populated country, they are focused from the last 10 years in terms of you can say environment. They are focusing on that pollution. Population is not the factor which making it degrade in terms of you can say environment, because your point has mentioned that yes, if we're gonna increase the population, it will affect the environment. Has it has been affected? No, it has not. If you're gonna take the top five name of the country who is really degrading the environment, China is not there. So you don't need to bring the population factor in that. That was my point. I think I made my thing very much clear, Vish. It is now pretty much obvious. Is it? Okay, now moving up to the second
Okay, so
point, guys. Just a
Okay,
simple
okay, so
thing I
you
want to
think
know.
now let
China
team
is
B
not
counter you guys
rich?
because you guys have. Okay, go on, please.
Sunanda,
So you
Sunanda,
think? Okay, let me just
sorry
ask
to,
you one
just
thing.
one second, one second,
As I
just one second. Just want to interrupt. It is an open session. The round is open for all the four players. Host
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
need to
yeah.
interrupt.
Please.
We can go on.
okay,
If they
so
are not taking the opportunity, it is their mistake. We are taking up the opportunity as to the fullest. Sorry, we are going
no,
it to the rule.
as she intervened you earlier, then you said then you don't need to intervene it. So that's why she get. I mean, she muted
I we can
herself.
raise the voice, buddy. Though we can raise the voice, but we are giving out the
Okay,
point. You were just
let's moving
We
on to
don't
the
have to
topic.
raise the voice. That's
K
what
K,
I mean.
if you have something,
you are,
come up with
look.
it.
Okay,
You are
Let's not
okay,
hearing our
argue and
let
come back to
okay
topic.
you are hearing
that's
our
what I'm
point
saying.
just because we are
Okay,
correct.
Hey, bro, let it sleep.
let okay, just move on. So you were said that China is, I mean, actually good in environmental things. So as I said earlier, I mean, when you became rich, you are able to think about your environment. So don't you think China is rich? I mean, that's why actually thinking about the environment. And first of all, China is not like other countries. Their policies is quite very much different from other countries. I mean, I mean, we can compare even China to other worlds. I mean, if you compare China and America, and if you compare India, I mean, these three are very much different. I mean, but still, you can compare America to India
Bro,
because
the
there are so many
debate is all
similarities.
about
I
the
would like to
environment.
counter you. I would like to counter you on this
Yeah,
very much topic. You people are wrong when you say they economically good. That's why they're focusing on environment. No,
Yeah,
they
exactly. That's the
understand their
point.
mistake that they're going
They
wrong. That's why they're
they
shifting towards
didn't
environment.
understand the
I said
mistakes. They
I
have the
already no no.
ability to think. They have the ability to think about the environment because they are actually economically much more developed than any other countries. So you just can't put
it is
restrictions
simple,
to those
bro.
countries who are
Guys,
actually in a developing mode and say that no, you should focus on environmental things. Why should I focus on environmental things? Because we are in a developing mode and we should think about our peoples first. Then we can think about the environmental things. And
It is
it
something
doesn't
that
mean
it is
I already gave an example
exactly.
where
it is it
humankind is
is
right.
it
trying to
is
push.
Exactly,
something
Abhi.
that it is something that rather than living in a hypothetical future, present on the be you should be present in the present scenario which is going
Okay.
right now. You are
So
like okay, it
As
how
a
do you
will
world
want
it
to
will
leader,
proceed?
as a
Let's
world
say
leader, when you take
wait,
decisions
wait.
on economical
uh-huh
or
Wait.
on a world
uh-huh
Just
level,
wait,
when you take decisions on economical or environmental level, you think about future, right? We think about future. Is one
See,
of the
you just take an
Singapore is
example. No, no, no. You just
no no
take an
no.
example.
so you
If
think
a
Singapore is
war,
not a
if a
richer country? You
mm-hmm.
think Singapore
guys,
is
if
not a
you wanna
richer
raise your
country?
voice, they can raise it too. Just have a
No,
wanna
I'm
have
not
a
just
conversation, do
raising
it,
your
you
bro.
are
voice.
not
You
you
are
are
just
not
both of them
allowing us
tackling.
to
Raise.
speak.
I can
You
You're
handle
are
not.
single
not
both of you
allowing
See,
to
single
speak.
handedly. I can
see,
handle
you
both of you
actually. I
single
mean,
handedly. Don't need to
Let's
raise
stick
Guys,
to
it
the
both sides.
speak
topic.
one by
Let's
one,
stick to the
please.
topic.
like
Let's stick
if
to the
this
No,
is the
topic.
To the
way we're
topic.
if this is the way
I
we're going to have
Why you
debate. I
guys
mean,
coming up? Both of you
then
coming
you
up
can
You
also
simultaneously.
guys
contribute.
are
Come one
left
by
with
one.
wait
one
wait
minute. Guys,
guys, जिसका भी वॉल्यूम 2100 है ना उसको 100 करो. People are getting too loud and बाकियों की आवाज दब रही है. Keep equal
Yeah,
volume
and
to
please
everyone.
And Vish
listen
and
to
Sai,
each
just
other.
come one by one.
I mean,
Vish and
Yeah,
Sai,
if
come
go
you
one
one
get
by
by
it,
one
one.
after the other. One by one, please.
Okay,
okay, Vish,
so
you may go there.
okay. So I was saying that don't you think like to make environment strong, you guys need economically strong things? And what if if tomorrow the war break down? So you can't say there. See, we are environmentally strong. We do have trees. We do have natural resources. At that time, what you need is you need the economical strong background, right? At that time, you can't say out you can't shout on the borders that we are economically strong, we are environmentally strong. See, we have this, we have that. No, that time you need to have arms. That time you need to have weapons, and that you can buy only if you are economically strong.
Then
Why
again, you
superpowers
are
are
We
not
wrong,
have a
Vish.
afraid?
simple.
You are not
Yes,
Uh-huh.
understanding. Environment is not a country's matter. It's a world, and humans matter, right?
But
You
The
people are
the
not
problem
getting it.
is,
It's a
the
environment.
mankind's
problem
matter.
is,
It's not
the
country's
problem
problem.
is, we are actually focusing that environment should be our first priority rather than economics. So that's the problem is, because economic and environment can't go parallel. I mean, we have to think
Uh,
about what
when
will be
when
our
I was
first
asked,
priority.
okay, bro,
And
listen.
there's
When I was
someone,
asked about
and
topic, I told them that economy and environment doesn't make a good topic. They both are equally
and
important, and I'm a
no, no,
finance student.
that's
But
no, that's okay. That's okay. You just need to. I mean, talk about on your points. You just can't say anything about debate. And let me just correct you. Someone who said, I mean, I don't know what, I mean, his name was. I mean, some vague statements and incorrect data. They have been given like 2%, only 2% of, I mean, you can say
that was
assets
me.
has
That
been
was me.
possessed by, I mean, 2% of Americans. That 98% of assets has been possessed by 2% of Americans. That's a vague statement and it's an incorrect one. So,
Go read books.
and
It's
that's why
mentioned
I'm
in so
Okay,
saying
many books.
guys,
It's
guys,
mentioned
just
in
a
Rich
simple.
Dad
never,
and Poor
it's
Dad.
never,
Wait, Asura,
it's
wait.
ne-
Just
it's
a simple
nowhere
question. You guys are
mentioned. And
mentioning from the that time the economic is important. Economic is important. Economic is not actually important. It is the world war which happened just for the factor of getting the economical power. If economic thing will not be there, why we gonna have the world war even? Why gonna have a fight? Fight happen just in the need of greed. Why if economic factor is there, money factor is there? Okay, if you take the example, if you're gonna have earned a wealth immensely and
forget
destroyed
about
all
other
the.
countries. Forget about other
If you're
countries.
not
If you talk
able
about
to hear it
India,
clearly, please,
if
bro, we
you
can
talk,
make it louder. Sorry, if you're not able to hear, please don't interrupt.
okay, so do I
Guys,
have to
guys, we are
listen
left with
until you're
30
not
seconds
completed?
now.
It
so
is
at the end,
something that
Mitro, don't
what you're going.
fight.
it
So
is
at the end,
something
what you're
that if
you what and what
okay.
we are going to consume. It is the money which you are going to consume, or it is the food which is being cultivated from the environmental side. If you're just developing on the economic factor itself, what is the building you are going to have it? It is the money which you are just going to have it in terms of food. Ultimately, it is the thing you have to look toward the environmental side because you are just degrading day by day. I have mentioned the 3 points. You can say
See,
Okay,
Dave, it
okay,
is
okay. If
something
you
that
don't have,
if you are willing that you should leave without any technology. So why we are evolving? So why we are not living in
Wish,
Stone Age?
wish. Why don't you
it is
understand?
Why?
exactly in
okay,
terms.
Wish? Why
Dave,
Why
don't
Dave,
you
we
I'm
are
saying
not
understand?
that if you
living
Listen,
don't
in
have
listen,
Let me
Stone
listen.
call
Age
you. Let
there?
me
Why
give you
why
the
don't
answer
you
of it. Let me
understand
give you
technology,
Oh,
finance is a totally
dude.
different concept. You can't just like push individual concept,
To conclude,
it is the same point. It is the
individual
same point that
topics
the
as a
government come up with
financial stuff, right?
government every
As a
year
human,
government come up with different
No,
schemes
no.
to support the
Finance is all
environment
about
itself.
Guys, we need
If
economics.
to
government
no,
conclude
no. As a
because
if
we are
human,
running
be
out of time.
Finance.
developed.
It will
As
be
a
very
as
limited
a
time.
human,
Finance is included in economical
guys,
development. If you are financially
okay,
strong, you are
thank you,
economically
everyone.
wrong,
financially
strong.
we
exactly,
are
that's what.
we need to clear
Guys,
it
stop it.
very much
Okay,
clearly.
Calm down,
guys,
guys. Calm down, please,
medical,
guys.
IT.
Calm down, guys. K, Ashur, please calm down. Now you guys are done. As when I was started the debate, we had like I had quoted one thing. When there is information, there is enlightenment. When there is debate, there are solutions. So we are here to find out the solutions. So I guess both the teams had led this debate in very well mannered, and I would appreciate my co-host Sunanda. She was also fabulous in like hosting these sessions. We will be heading towards our
Yeah.
next round, and that is conclusive round, and this is the third round. Each team will be getting 1.30 seconds, 1 minute 30 seconds, and they need to speak to conclude their each points. Like if team A will be going for in environmental development conclusion, and team B for economic development. Please conclude uh, in 1 minute 30 seconds. So from team A, I will be inviting Smile. Smile, are you there?
Yeah, hello, I can hear
Uh,
you. I don't know, but what's going on right now?
Smile.
Can I conclude?
Smile from my side. Okay, just let me check out if he is there or not. Smile, are you there? Okay, please, bro, go conclude. You have 1 minute 30 seconds.
1 minute 30 seconds. I want to make some corrections. Um, when people are talking about
You
economy,
need
they
to conclude.
considering.
No, you need to conclude. You can't go for
Yes, let
like
me
questioning or
finish.
answer.
Let me finish. So when people talking about economy, they're talking about medical, they're talking about IT stuff. Why we are developing? We develop as a human, right? We grow and die, right? We were backwards and now we are developing. This is how we work. And at some point, we going to be like someone whole other some another level, whole another level, right? That's some a different part. Economy on a individual level, as a me, as a human, as a firm, as a country, it matters. But as a world level, when we see we humans as a one family and not as some countries or individuals, that's when you understand the importance of environment, and that's you understand whatever we have, whatever we able to build, whatever we able to develop, it's due to the environment we have. The environment this earth provides us, unlike any other planet we have, and that's what I conclude. Right? Both are equally important, but what is main conclusion? What actually matters is environment. You don't have environment, you could be billionaire, and no one would ever like talk like you wouldn't even matter because your money is not going to matter if there is nothing, right? There is no environment. What are you going to do with your money? You're not going to buy anything. There is no food. Money is just a piece of paper. If you're going
Okay.
economy and if you're going vaguely with
10
your
seconds.
concepts about yeah, I'm done. I was done 10
Okay.
minutes
Okay,
10 seconds
thank
ago.
you so much. And from my side, K is going to give the conclusive statement. And guys, keep it in mind that this it is conclusive statement, so please don't try to counter each other. Okay, K, you can go on.
Okay, is it me?
Yeah, it's you.
Okay. So I mean, Dasharava said something that is very good to hear and very good to listen, but it's nowhere practical. The world can't be one. Every country is different, and even if we think about it in our dreams, that's never be possible. We should have to think about separate for our own things, for our own peoples. Nobody cares about other peoples. I mean, in any cases, like I'm just saying, the first implication for policy is that is planning for development projects. We should, I mean, explicitly trade off between economic benefits and ecological impact. First of all, you have to. I mean, we need to strengthen participatory processes such as public hearings in environmental and forest things. I mean, if you can, meet two different minds at a one place, it's never been a solution. So first of all, you have to, actually the right thing that make the balance between economic development and environmental development. But there has to be always be upper hand of economic development because people needs environment, people needs money, people needs only money can buy foods. You just can't, rely on natural resources. Could even natural resources won't be there if you don't have money to buy them. I mean, these days even farming's. It's if you don't have money, you can't do farming. And if you don't, money where money comes from, obviously from the economic development. If you're not getting jobs and employments, where you find your money? I mean, you nowhere found it. It's very, relatable statements, and it's very quite a
You
thing that is
just
very much
you just
related.
said my statement the other way around.
No, I didn't say. I mean, there has to be true that economic and what was the
Okay,
environmental
can I?
development, there has to be some balance between them.
If something would happen on environment level in
Look, we just can't focus towards only
Okay, you don't
environment
need
and
to counter the question what
Bro, you
anyone
need
is
to
asking. You just
conclude.
need to say
Just 10 minutes, 10
no,
conclude.
seconds. Go.
okay, so just
10 seconds.
ask him to mute himself until I'm not completing. So
Please
the
complete it
thing
fast.
is, you just can't move. You just can't focus on only one thing if you don't. I mean, if you, I mean, you just can't ignore the same thing that is very important for you. That is economic development. So if you are actually focusing on environment development, it's nowhere gonna help you for your future. It is actually important for you, but it's not the only thing that you should focus on. The, there has to be only one thing, and that is economic development. Until, I mean, after that, you can think about whatever, I mean, environmental development you want to achieve. If you can cut trees, even you can plant them. But if you can lay off thousands of workers, I mean, you can't, I mean, it's not easy to build a new factory, a new company in one day and employ those peoples. It's not very easy. So
Okay, okay.
think about peoples. Yeah, is it done now?
Okay.
Time over?
Yeah, it does.
Like you have
Yeah.
already crossed 3 minutes.
Thank you so
Okay.
Okay.
Sunanda, I will be happy if we have a important personality. We have a great
Yeah.
important personality between us to speak here. Please give a warm welcome to
Okay,
Unfathomable to share our views. I guess
okay.
Unfathomable.
Yes, I'm here. So, like, the debate was really good. Like, I had been here since the beginning, and I think that every participant, you really performed well, and it was never, not even a single point of time, it felt boring, and you really performed well, like, full of zeal and enthusiasm. And then also, I would like to thank the lovely audience who had been there throughout, giving you constant support, because that is what is necessary. Like, all the debaters cannot come out properly till the time they don't get the support of the audience. And yes, you had been active throughout, not only here, but sharing those people in the chat section as well. Like, we had almost said that we won't be having this debate, but then fortunately we found new participants. So I would sincerely like to thank those people who came up like at that time on the spot and prepared themselves within an hour. So that was really wonderful. And guys, thank you so much. It was really an enriching session. Everyone might have learned something new. And yes, there's always room for improvement, and we need to do that. Otherwise, life becomes stagnant. So, apart from the English learners team, I would like to thank each and everyone who's present here, be it the audience, the participants, the judges, and the lovely host. Yeah, you really all performed your task very well. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Okay, so I will allow
Thank you so
Sunanda
much,
to conclude,
Anfata.
please.
Okay. So thank you, Unfathomable, as well as my co-host Roman. It was really a wonderful session, and I would especially like to thank English learners, the admins who have been here actively being over here just to maintain the decorum of the VC. Even I would like to appreciate the initiatives which are being taken by English learners. And another thing, what I want to tell the people who are over here, the debate sessions which have been conducted over here is being posted on the YouTube channel. So you guys can go through it and watch it. And rest, it was really a great session. Thanks to both the teams and of course the people over here who have been active since so long. So thank you so much. So Roman, the mic is yours.
Yeah, it was really an incredible session. I was having my first time experience to hosting all of you guys, and really, I would really appreciate the way the patience you guys have shown, the participants and the audience as well. And I would be happy if the judges will come and they will give their remarks on the participants, the way they have defended their own topic, and the way how much confident they were, and how the way they have replied to each other. So please, judges, come up, and I would request them to please speak.
Okay, so now the debate has ended, and now the people, the team A and team B, might have been getting goosebumps in their hands that who is going to get the first and second position. But right now we are not here with the result.